You've got a boy who lives in a cupboard, a secret school of magic, and a dark lord so feared people won't even say his name. So, how do you cram all of that into just a few minutes? Well, that's what we're going to do. We're about to break down Harry Potter's entire first year at Hogwarts, and these slides are going to help us get there.
So the whole story really kicks off with this incredible contrast between two completely different worlds. On one hand, you have the mundane world. Think number 4 Privet Drive, everything's neat, everything's normal, and a kid's bedroom is literally a cupboard under the stairs. The family motto is basically, magic? Nope, not here. But then, just simmering beneath the surface, you've got this other world, the magical one, and it is just bursting to get out. We're talking owls in broad daylight, giants on flying motorcycles. These two worlds are on a collision course, and there's one little boy right in the middle of it all.
And yeah, that boy is Harry Potter. For the first 10 years of his life, things are pretty bleak. He's living with the Dursleys, his awful aunt, uncle, and cousin, who treat him terribly. They tell him his parents died in a car crash, which, as we'll find out, is a massive lie hiding a much, much darker secret. But here's the thing. Weird stuff just seems to happen around Harry. You know, like when he accidentally makes the glass disappear at the zoo. These are the first little sparks of a power he has no idea about, and a destiny that's about to come knocking.
Then, his 11th birthday hits, and everything just completely changes. It starts with a single letter. And this letter is addressed with this crazy, impossible precision to Mr. H. Potter, the cupboard under the stairs. His uncle absolutely freaks out and destroys it, but then another one comes, and another. And pretty soon, hundreds of them are just pouring into the house. It's like this relentless magical flood that the Dursleys have no way of stopping.
So in a last-ditch effort, the Dursleys run. They drag Harry to this miserable little shack on a rock out in the middle of a stormy sea. They actually think they're safe there. But picture this. It's the stroke of midnight, officially Harry's birthday, and boom, the door is literally blasted off its hinges. The magical world isn't just knocking anymore, it's breaking right in. And who comes crashing through the doorway? A giant of a man, Rubeus Hagrid. And he delivers the 4 words that just change absolutely everything for Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. Just like that, the truth is out. He's not just some ordinary kid. He's part of this whole other world. And with that one sentence, the real story of what happened to his parents starts to unfold.
So no, they weren't in a car crash. The truth is, they were murdered. They were killed by the most feared, most evil, dark wizard in modern history, Lord Voldemort. And this is the incredible mystery at the heart of the story. You see, Voldemort, who was obsessed with living forever, tried to kill baby Harry too. But for some reason, the killing curse, it just rebounded. It completely destroyed Voldemort's body and left Harry with nothing but that famous lightning bolt scar. It's a mark left by a kind of magic Voldemort just can't understand. And it gave Harry a name, the boy who lived.
After that bombshell, Hagrid basically throws Harry headfirst into this new magical world. Their first stop is Diagon Alley, this amazing hidden wizarding street right in London. And in the span of a few hours, Harry finds out he's rich, thanks to an inheritance from his parents, he gets his school supplies, and then, at Ollivander's wand shop, a wand chooses him. And not just any wand, but one that shares a core from the exact same phoenix as Lord Voldemort's. Oh, and while they're at the bank, Hagrid quietly picks up a tiny, top-secret package from a super high-security vault. Keep that little detail in the back of your mind. It's going to be important. Okay, so when they get to Hogwarts, the very first thing they have to do is get sorted. The school is divided into 4 houses, and each one values something different. You've got Gryffindor for the brave, Slytherin for the ambitious, Ravenclaw for the clever ones, and Hufflepuff for the loyal and fair. And believe me, which house you get into, it basically sets the stage for your entire school career. And for Harry, this moment is absolutely crucial. The Sorting Hat sees inside his head and tells him he could be great in Slytherin, you know, the same house that produced Voldemort, but Harry just sits there thinking, not Slytherin, please, not Slytherin, and the hat listens. It puts him in Gryffindor. This is one of the biggest themes of the whole series, right here in the first book. It's not about what you're born with. It's about the choices you make. That's what really defines you.
And you know, Harry was already making those kinds of choices before he even put on the hat. On the train to school, he meets 2 people who will define his social life. First, there's Ron Weasley, a kind, funny kid from a big family, and they hit it off immediately. Then there's Draco Malfoy, who's arrogant and snobby, and Harry just flat out rejects his offer of friendship. So right away, you see him choosing real friendship over status, and that sets the tone for everything that follows.
So life at Hogwarts is just this wild mix of amazing and terrifying. On one hand, you've got flying lessons and learning magic, which is incredible. But on the other, you've got the potions professor, Snape, who seems to have it out for Harry from the second he lays eyes on him. And then there's this cryptic warning from the headmaster, Dumbledore, about a forbidden corridor on the 3rd floor. Of course, what do Harry and his friends do? They accidentally end up there, and what they find is a massive, 3-headed dog guarding a trapdoor.
And that 3-headed dog? Well, that kicks off the big mystery of the year. Remember that little package Hagrid grabbed from Gringotts? Turns out that same vault was broken into later that very same day. So Harry, Ron, and their super smart new friend Hermione, they start putting the pieces together. They figure out that whatever that dog is guarding must be the Sorcerer's Stone, a legendary object that can make you immortal. And who do they think is trying to steal it? Yep, Professor Snape.
Convinced that Snape is about to steal the stone, the trio decides they have to act. They can't just stand by, so they go through the trapdoor themselves and find a whole series of magical obstacles waiting for them. And this part is so cool because it shows how they really need each other. Hermione uses her brains to get them out of a deadly plant, Harry uses his amazing flying skills to catch a magical key, and Ron plays the game of his life, a giant violent game of wizard's chess. Each challenge needs one of their unique talents to get past it.
But the trials take their toll. Ron gets knocked out in the chess game, sacrificing himself so they can move on, and Hermione has to stay behind to help him after solving the final logic puzzle. That means Harry has to go on alone. He steps through the last door, steeling himself to finally face the person he's been sure is the villain all along, Professor Snape. So the question is it him? Is Snape really the one waiting in that final chamber?
Well, here it is. The big twist. It's not Snape. In fact, it was never Snape. All those times Harry thought Snape was trying to kill him, he was actually trying to save him. The real bad guy, the one who's been after the stone all along, is the stuttering, nervous, seemingly harmless Professor Quirrell.
And just when you think you figured it out, it gets about 1,000 times more horrifying. Quirrell calmly unwraps his turban, and on the back of his head is another face. A pale, snake-like, terrifying face. It's Lord Voldemort. He's been living like a parasite, sharing Quirrell's body, trying to get his hands on the Sorcerer's Stone so he can get a body of his own and return to power.
So Voldemort orders Quirrell to kill Harry. But a strange thing happens. When Quirrell touches Harry's skin, it burns him like acid. Harry, realizing he has this bizarre weapon, grabs onto Quirrell and doesn't let go, and Quirrell just crumbles into dust. So what happened? Well, as Dumbledore explains later, Harry is protected by a deep, ancient magic. When his mother died to save him, she left him with the protection of her love. And as Dumbledore says, if there's one thing Voldemort just cannot understand, it's love. It's a power he can't touch.
We cut to the end-of-year feast, and the Great Hall is decked out in green and silver. Slytherin has won the House Cup, or so it seems. But Dumbledore gets up and says he has a few last-minute points to award. He gives points to Ron for his chess game, to Hermione for her logic, and to Harry for his courage. And then, in this really amazing moment, he gives the final, winning points to Neville Longbottom, not for fighting enemies, but for having the bravery to stand up to his friends. And just like that, Gryffindor wins. It's this incredible, triumphant moment.
So, as Harry's first year at Hogwarts comes to an end, the story really lays out its central theme for us. You have Voldemort, who chased power by trying to become immortal, to conquer death, and then you have Harry, who was saved by an act of sacrificial love. It really leaves you with a big question, doesn't it? What is true power? Is it trying to live forever at any cost? Or is it found in the courage to love and to sacrifice for others?